Uh, Recording in progress. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, so I think a good number of folk have cottoned on to the fact that these are going to be recorded, and in fact, for tonight, I pre-recorded the explainer video, so people are able to do this at their leisure and fast forward me speaking. So I'll be that fooled people to think that this was being fast forwarded, but I'm going to go through this at a fair old speed because we can pick it up on the explainer video if some of it doesn't make sense. Would that be okay, Cleona Dervla?
Hi, no bother.
Good show. Now, let me begin. I'm sharing my screen, and I have allowed everybody to share screens tonight. I don't know how that works, but I've allowed everybody to share screens at any time. So if you've got a question and you think, what's going wrong? I can't do this, then you'll be able to share your screen. So I'm starting at the basics as to why we're using a calendar in the app. And there's the kind of demo app, which some of you may or may not have seen, because the app that you will have started with in terms of the template might look slightly different, but this is the demo app that I've put together. And dead simple, we want young people to be able to look at the app and check what's happening when in the youth club. When is that trip to the ice rink, or what happened about the event being cancelled or whatever. So dead simple, it allows young people to stay up to date, and of course their parents and also your team of volunteer leaders need to be able to be on top of things as well. So it's easy enough to know why we're using it, to put together the events, to allow for sign-ups of the events, and it allows you also to help manage your staff rotas within a calendar. And we're going to explore all of that tonight. Now, I should say that most of the focus tonight is going to be on the TeamUp calendar app, because I have found it to be one of the best. If you're using Google, or you really do prefer to use another type of calendar, that's absolutely fine. You'll pick up tonight how you can actually integrate that calendar into your app, because it's the same kind of process. And I'm a big Google fan, all things Google, but the calendar function doesn't just do enough in this context. So that's why I'm pushing you towards TeamUp. Now, it'll get a wee bit boring if I'm just talking into thin air tonight. So can you give me a wee bit of feedback from time to time? I'm going to ask if anybody has already got themselves a TeamUp account made yet. You have to unmute yourself to let me know.
Me and Dervla have TeamUp accounts made. So
Brilliant. Good, good. Claire, do you have a TeamUp account?
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
I built it wrong as per your YouTube video, John, but I did build some.
All right, very good. Okay, so we're going to start. We're going to start there at the beginning. There's the TeamUp. Oh, I'm not sharing yet. Forgive me. I'm got to share my.
I can't see this.
Yeah. So screen, yeah, share that. There we go. So that's the TeamUp stuff. If you've already got your account going, then you'll not need to see that. You'll probably have got as far as your dashboard. And one of the things you might note here is that I have created several calendars here on a free account. I've called one Any Group Youth, another one the Lunch Bunch, another one the Man Cave Ministry, and another new youth calendar. Just remove that one because I was I've forgotten. I was just, let's just remove that to let you see how to remove and add them.
It's tricky enough to remove. It wouldn't let me do that. I had to go in and then edit and then delete.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I couldn't remove it from that screen because I was a creator. So you actually had to go into it and then delete.
Ah, very good. Thanks. You're teaching me. Brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, I hadn't done that before. So
Took me a while. I was like, why is it not taking my password?
right. So you go into the calendar, and then what do? You go into settings.
Maybe the sentence is it? Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't fully remember now. But
and then go
there's
into
a link button somewhere
calendars.
within this.
Yeah. Well, getting back to the dashboard. These are all what I would call main calendars. And I don't know if you're even limited to 8 within the main calendars. You seem to be able to create any number of main calendars, but within any one of these calendars, you can create up to 8 sub calendars. And that's where the trick comes in, because you can group all of the calendars together in one main calendar. So that's what we're going to start with, the any group youth, and look at that in the first instance. So in that one, that could be the Long Tower youth, and you can create several calendars within that. So I've created a calendar here, and just let you see. So there's BB. So Boys Brigade have their own calendar, and I've stuck a weekly thing in and a one-off thing there, a trip to the ice rink. I have created a separate BB staff calendar, and I've created a youth fellowship focus night on a Sunday night, and I've created a focus staffing rota to go along with it. Now, I'm explaining that because there's 4 different calendars, and you can put them all on the one view here. And I have separated out the staffing calendars from the actual youth activity calendar, but one mirrors the other one. So you can see for every BB event, there is a BB staffers event as well, and the same for the focus group. I've chosen to present it that way, although you could choose to do things differently. And if you wanted, you could allow for sign-ups for your calendars and allow staff to sign in along with the young people. But I just think it might be better for you to keep your staff rotas that wee bit separate. So that's why I've created a calendar of activities for your main youth group or club, and a mirrored calendar for your staff rotas for that club. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah. John, is there privacy settings within that then? So if you want,
yeah. So yes, I'll get
maybe
to
that's later, but
yeah. So yes, by privacy settings, what I would assume you mean is you can make any of these calendars, any of these sub calendars, you can create a link to it which is read only. So, for instance, you can create a link to just those 2 calendars, although I wouldn't do that. I would maybe put a link to the BB and the focus group. And what you do is there's a link to those 2 calendars, and they can be read only. So people can't add events to them. They can see the events and they can sign up for the events, but they can't actually add events. So I think that's what you might mean by privacy.
But
those are basically specialized links that the program generates for you.
And you have one link for both calendars.
Yeah.
Because it's a sub calendar.
Yes, exactly.
And then in your main dashboard, each one of those is a hyperlink effectively.
Yes. Now you can create actually loads and loads of different links. You could have one link per calendar, just one link for the BB and a different link for the focus. But actually, you probably want all your activities on the one calendar for the young people.
Exactly, yeah.
So
here's all things you could avail off of,
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So you can create one link to several calendars. And you don't have to include the staff rota in that. You can pick and choose. So yeah, I would say that's your kind of privacy setting bit. But we'll get on to that in terms of how you generate those links, because when you generate that link, that's what you then put into the app, which is exactly what you're getting at. So within the TeamUp these main calendars, you can have all of these separate or sub calendars. You can have up to 8 of these in the free account, which is really pretty generous, I think. And considering you can also have other main calendars beyond that again, and you can have sub calendars of those main calendars. So there's no end of fun you can have with it. The interesting thing about this, I'm going to note, is that while you will be in charge, or you're probably in charge of everything to do with the app, you could train up some of your leaders or office staff to maintain these calendars. And all they need to do is access the calendar and maintain the information on the calendar. And that's what will automatically get driven onto the app. So they don't actually need to know anything about the app if you want to train them just in maintaining the calendar. But maybe you're doing everything and you haven't been able to break that down and give those jobs away. But this is kind of obviously that little bit self-contained. So
I like the idea, John, of having someone else to do it, though.
yeah. And that means that you don't have to worry about that. And that person can also look at the rotas and stuff as well, and then flag something up to you. The business of I know Claire, you've already begun to do a wee bit of this, but Amy, nice to see you. Good, thanks for joining us. You'll not have had a chance to look at anything to do with the app at all yet, probably.
Nothing, no, I haven't had a chance at all.
So apologies that in some ways you jump in the deep end, but I was just saying that part of the app, and I'll just jump over to it for your benefit here. So there's a look at, say, the dummy app that I've put together for groups as a kind of a template. And you can create a button on the app which allows young people to click in and see all the activities that are coming up. And they can actually click on the activity and sign up to go to it. Okay. So that's really what we're at. And rather than using Google Calendar or Outlook Calendar or whatever, I'm pushing people towards this freebie facility on the web called TeamUp, and they provide the calendar functions. And that's the beauty of the app, because it will allow you to grab hold of any resource out there on the web and integrate it into your app. So you're not stuck with just the features that we generate internally. You can grab stuff from everywhere. So TeamUp is the way to go. It's just teamup.com, and you can go and sign up and get a freebie account. And then I'll just show you, there's your dashboard. You can create new calendars, and then within any of these main calendars, you're allowed to create up to 8 sub calendars. So you can create one calendar for all of the youth activities, and within that you can have BB, GB, Youth Fellowship, GAA, whatever, you know, cricket club, badminton club, whatever. You can have up to 8 sub calendars, and you can create specialized links for them, but we're going to get to that now. Is that okay? Now, I've gone through this a little bit more slowly in the explainer video on the playlist. Just let you all see. There's the playlist there, and you can see we have all of those explainer videos for different bits of the app. I'm trying to create maybe one explainer video per week, and the TeamUp video one is, the TeamUp features is there at the top of it. So there's a full 22 minutes there where I'm going through this a wee bit more slowly, but you don't get a chance to ask questions of the video. Anyway, that's where the playlist is. Going back to the apps. So I've explained some of the rationale for creating an activity calendar for, say, let's call it the BB, and also another calendar called BB Staffers for your volunteer team. And it mirrors all of the activities on the BB calendar, so that for any one BB event, say there's a trip to the ice rink, you can see who has signed up to go from the young people, and you can click on that and see which leaders have signed up to go as well. And that way you can kind of manage your rota of leaders if you ask them to go in and sign up on the TeamUp calendar for which nights they're going to be available. We're going to show you how to do that, but before we get to using the sign up, well, actually, let's just slow down and show you how to put an event into TeamUp. And you literally just click on to a date, let's say the 9th, Saturday the 9th of October, and you get this panel up. And it can be an all-day event, or you can give it a time to start and finish. There you go. You could just save that. You have, you have to put it in one calendar. So let's say it's a BB activity. You just save that, and boom, there it is on your calendar. And it's part of your BB outing. But we haven't even given it a title. So let's call this BB Mountain Orienteering Trip. And you can say where, let's say it's the Mourns. You can describe what it's all about. You can give it a link if you were wanting to sign up on Eventbrite. You can actually add pictures. You can even add permission slips onto it there and do all of the stuff there. As I say, you can create a link. You can put pictures into it and insert a document. The document could be your permission slip if you wanted. Now, the options is there's your sign up. Now, it's a simple sign up. If you want something more complicated, as I say, you could put a link here to your Eventbrite registration or whatever type of registration you wish to use for the event. But built into TeamUp, you have this basic sign up thing. And there you go, sign up. It's disabled at the moment, put it on, and you can have a deadline for the sign up. So people have got to sign up for the event at least one day in advance. By that time on that date, you can put a maximum number for people to go. The bus will only hold 22, and only people with permission can see who signed up, or you can have everybody able to see, oh, is my mate signed up? So there you go, everybody can see who signed up. And now you've got the BB Orienteering Trip, and you can click on there and you'll allow people to sign up by clicking on it in the app. Oops, just trying to get, there we go. Okay, that's that. So that's how you create an event. Dead easy, just click on the day and away you go. Now, when people do sign up for the event, you're able to click onto the event and see who has signed up. And you're able to download a CSV file of the folk who have signed up. And all you'll get is their name and their email address. If you go for a paid account, you can get extra customized fields. But at the moment, for the free account, you get the email address and the name of people who have signed up. So that, and if you decide, oh, the trip is rained off, you can just drag it and stick it there. So it's dead easy to alter and keep your stuff up to date. So that's how you set up events. But the main thing that you're going to want to do is put the calendar into the app. And what you're going to do is put a sort of read-only version of the calendar into the app so that the young people can see what's happening, but they can't add events into it and they can't take them away. But they can sign into an event. It's only read-only in terms of being able to add or subtract events. They can actually interact with the event. So to get a link to, let's call it this BB calendar thing, let's just click on to settings. Okay, and in settings, we're in general, let's have a look at sharing. Okay, now I've already created loads of links here. I'm sure you can see that along there. And you can create all sorts of different types of sharing links. Let's just begin, and so I can show you there. There's the BB reader. So I've already created a link there, and copy that link. And if I copy that link and take the link into another browser, just to let you see what happens, pop it into that browser, and there you get the calendar in the read-only format. And you see, I'm trying to click on to the days here. I can't add anything now, but I can click into the event, and I can sign up and put my name, blah, blah, blah. And I can put my email address, blah, blah, blah. And I can save it. Oh, there you go. It's very good. It's got a validation thing. So it's got to be a proper email address. So now I'm signed up for BB on Wednesday night. And you can see while I'm hovering there, it says calendar signed up 1 of 22. And so that's anybody's going to be able to see that, but you are able to actually go into the back end of the calendar program and download the actual names and so forth. But if it's just a mechanism for you to check how many people are coming to BB on a particular night to see if you've got enough leaders signed up, that's a quick and easy way of doing it. If you're doing something like a trip to the ice rink, then you may well want to download the list of names and their emails and email out to them all or whatever. So that's the link, and that's the link that you will be putting into the app. Now let's go back to the sharing thing, and I'll show you. I'm going to stop after this sharing business, the creating link, and take a few questions. So create link, and there we go. So you actually name the link, and I'm just going to call this another BB read only, and it's active. Administration, no. Password, no. Calendars to be shared, selected calendars. So all we're going to do is share the BB activities, not the staffing rota, not the focus staffing rota, not the youth fellowship, just the BB. So there we go. Basic permissions, read only, and that's it. That's all you need to save that. Now you could, if you wanted, as I was saying before, share 2 calendars onto the one link. So if we decided for whatever reason we wanted to share the BB staffing rota onto the same thing, we can do that as well. We save that, and the primary contact, and where did that go? Another BB read only. There it is. Copy that. I'll pop it into another browser and paste. And there we go. There you've got the staffers and the BB weekly. It's really as simple as that. There's another bit now. I can go in and edit that, give it a different name. I can give it different colors, and all sorts of permissions, as you can see there, for any element of it. But let's take out the staffing rota altogether. It's not shared. Now save that. Now it's actually only showing the BB activities. Now I'm going to pause and check that everybody's not asleep, and take any questions about the sharing bit. I'm going to get on to how you put those shared links into the app in a second, but are we okay so far?
We're okay anyway, John.
Great, cheers,
Yes.
thanks, Dave. Yeah.
Very helpful.
Was that okay in terms of sharing the links?
Yes. I think you
No.
need to see it. You know, I'm still, like, if you have 5 or 6 in it, I'm worried about how I configure it properly, but I think I'll get there, yeah.
Yes, it's always going to be better when you do it yourself. And
Yes.
the way to get to it is this up here on the right hand side, and then you
Yes.
have all of these settings for all of the calendars.
Okay.
General settings, date, time, calendar views, blah 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 blah. Now, it always brings you up to this general settings first. So
Okay.
then you've got to click this again to find
Okay.
all of those. That I find that a little bit confusing. It always brings you there first, and then you think, oh, where's the rest of the settings? You just got to go back to the menu.
Okay.
I'll just mention calendar views when I see it there, because in any of the calendar views, you can decide whether to allow a day view in it, a multi-day view, and you can have, however many days you want on it, a weekly view, a monthly view, multi-week view. So in any of your calendars, you can provide the types of views that appear up here. You see, scheduler, week, 6 weeks, month, year, timeline, agenda, list. So you can decide what appears here. So if you only want to share a monthly calendar with young people on the app, then you can decide to do away with those other views so as to keep it tidy, maybe not confuse them. Or you might find that it's actually better to give them the month and maybe 6 weeks ahead, just whatever. So that's the different views settings. And in the identity bit, you can give your calendar a title, and you can actually upload your logo and all the rest of it like that. So you can customize the calendar on the app, which is very good. I haven't bothered. Event fields, that's where you can decide what event fields get shown for each of your events. The title and the calendar obviously required, and then you can decide whether you want the where, the description, and the who, and the sign up and the comments fields. And if you pay extra, you can get to add in, your current subscription plan supports a maximum of 1 custom field, but that's a freebie that I'm on, so you're allowed 1 extra field if you wanted 1 extra field on your freebie. Okay, if you're happy enough, now, let me just check export events. No, you don't need that. General settings. We'll come back and look at how you create a CSV file of all the people that have signed up to a particular event, because I think you're all going to want to do that. And I'm just having to scratch my head to remind myself, but it's buried in here somewhere. Yeah, I think actually you've got to go to the particular calendar. But let's get the links into the app. So you've created your calendar and your sub-calendars, and you've decided what you're going to share with whom, and you've been able to figure out how to get those links. There they are, all lined up there. So back on the app, there's the app there. And there are 2 places that you're going to put the app or the calendar. I think you're going to put the main events here for young people to be able to check out what's happening where and when, and to be able to sign up to them. There you go. They can sign up there. And the other place that you're going to put the calendar or the link is under leadership, because you're going to give your leaders a different calendar or a different calendar link where they can actually sign up to volunteer for the particular events. So this link that I've created is just for the leaders to sign up to go to, there's the Fellowship Weekend Away, and they sign up there. And they put in their name, my name, and my address, and save that. And there you go. Now, the reason why we've put that calendar there under leadership is because this leadership button does not appear on the young people's version of the app. The young people's version of the app doesn't have the parent zone or the leadership buttons on their app. That's maybe a whole other topic, and I don't want to go into that in real depth just now. But you can actually put additional pages onto the app for specialized groups. In our case, probably your volunteer leaders and parents, and then you can have a particular content that you want to direct to parents or direct to your leaders, and the young people don't see it, but they all download the same app, but they sign in, and there's a wee explanation about signing in down here. Oh, well, actually, there's a wee, I should explain, double click, there we go. So, yeah, so a quick diversion so that you understand how to get leadership pages and parent pages on the app for those particular people. You tell your leaders and you tell your parents to go to the About page. They triple click on this icon here, and it brings up a passcode panel and an optional a name panel and a send passcode panel. And they have to put, let's just call it my parents' name. Oh, sorry, passcode. Let's put the passcode in there. Let's say they're a parent, and I'm going to show you where the parents' code is. Parents' code is down here. It's parent 247. Of course it is. So we put in PARENT 247 and get them to put in their name, my name, just show that to make sure it's the same, parent 247, and then send a passcode. Now, if they do that on their app, they will then get the parent zone button coming up. And if the leaders put in the leader code, which is leader 007, very topical. So they do the same thing. They go to the About page, triple click on that, and they put in LEADER 127 007, show that. Yep. And they put their name in there, preferably. Send passcode. Then their app will show the leadership stuff coming up here. Event everywhere. Where did I get that from? Did you notice that, Stephen? Let's see, is Stephen unmuted? Event everywhere. I've suddenly got an extra page. Oh, well, I'll unpublish that.
Everywhere.
Yeah, I've just taken it off the thing because there we go. Wasn't there a second ago, but sorry, that was a short diversion into how to get these leadership pages and parent zone pages onto your app, because in the leadership pages, that is where I've placed the staff rota link, and there's the staff rota. So I'm going back to the app now to show you how to place the calendars in there. We'll begin with the events and signups. Okay, you see that events and signups is going to take us to that calendar. So back to the editor. And I'm sorry, Amy, this is pretty overwhelming for you, I'm sure. You've barely seen the admin end of the calendar, of the app. So if we go to the page called Events and Signups on the left, just over here, and you'll see then in the middle panel, which is where you would normally have text or content for a particular page. This page and panel is blank because it is a web page link. It's not a link like we'd receive program ideas that has got content on it. So it's not a direct page that has got all the content on the page. It's actually a page that is a web link. And if I go edit web link, you can see there that is actually a TeamUp link. And I'm not going to change that. I'm just going to show you down here, add web page link. So add web page link. This is a new calendar. And we click on that. We pop in the link which you had previously copied from TeamUp, click OK, and give it an icon. Let's give it a bubbles icon, that'll do. Now we'll go back to your app, click refresh, and hey presto, there's the new button that says a new calendar, happens to have that icon or logo on it. You click on that, and hey presto, there's your calendar. I obviously already have done that there, but that's just how you do it from the start. So let's go back. There's the page, a new calendar. As I say, it's a page on or a button on your app, but it is actually a web link. And there's the actual link there if you wanted to change it. All we're going to do here is delete it. And hey presto, that's it deleted from your app. Refresh that, and there it's gone. Now I'm going to pause and check if you have any questions about all of that.
You go first, Amy.
All right.
Does Amy want to go first? I've done so, John. I'm maybe a wee bit ahead of Amy. I've had a go and playing about with it. Now, my app definitely looks a lot different than this, obviously. But when I go into events and signups, for some reason, I see text to the link, but it doesn't, like, you know, that you're just flowing really sharp there. Whenever I click at my events and signups, let's say I see just text on my phone on my app, so I have to copy that, I think, into the browser. Do you?
No. Let's have a wee look, because we'll change that. No, let's have you. Do you want to share your screen? Can you reproduce all of that on your laptop? If you can't, don't worry, because I think I understand what you're saying. It sounds to me, although I think I will need to look at it on the editor. Yeah. If you wouldn't mind sharing your screen, and we'll look at your editor.
So in here, this is my calendar here. So here is my web link. But it's coming through it's not coming through as a hyperlink, I don't think. But maybe it's something to do with my phone, maybe.
Could you scroll up a wee bit? Sorry, no, just go back. Yeah, so just scroll up the page a wee bit. So you're on the events percentage youth club volunteer rota. Yeah? Yes. Okay, and scroll down.
So try to do two. I edited the page layout.
Yeah, no, that's you do.
Stephen.
Yeah, you do want to volunteer, and just so you see that volunteer rota one.
Yes.
Now scroll down on the right hand side, just to check that is definitely a web. Yes. So click on edit web link for me for a wee second. TeamUp. Yeah. So now go cancel that. Okay. Cancel that. Now go to the web app menu in another browser window. Just on down a wee bit. You see down a bit, just below that.
Here?
Yeah. So click on that. Now that's open. Yeah. So.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Now keep that in. Now you'll be able to jump between those two tabs, so you can see. So the page. Go back to the page on the editor. What was that page called? That you were looking at?
John.
Just,
it's events.
Just scroll up. It was called
Events Youth Club Volunteer
Rota. Yeah. Okay. So
when I go in here, I have two then. So events, I have my volunteer rota and then the youth club.
So click on the volunteer rota. Yeah. So that's working perfectly.
Okay. Perfect.
So that bit's working perfectly. Now, what is the bit that isn't working for you? You were saying that
Oh, I'm convinced. Sorry, and on my phone, I don't think it does that, but it's working fine now. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and double check.
yeah, okay. Do you want to have a wee look at your phone and check that it's working on your phone as well?
Yep. Sorry, hang on.
'Cause-
I'm gonna grab it.
Yeah, no, that's no problem.
There we go. Amy, it's very straightforward. I hope I don't put you off.
No, I'm guessing that it will be whenever I start to look at it. It's just a wee bit confusing now, I would say.
Mhm.
Oh, very impressed, John. Never mind. My
Working?
issue has. Yeah.
Great.
Look.
Now,
Oh.
if you wanted to, if you weren't using the leadership pages and putting your leaders rota in under your leadership pages, I'm just going to point out that you can, of course, put a security code on that particular page. Even a web link page, you can put a security code on it so that only the leaders who know the security code can get onto that page.
That's great. So you mean like, so for example, the events, John, that I have there? I wonder if you can see
Yes.
this. So if I have my two calendars, you can't really see that, can you? If I have my two calendars, if they
Yeah.
want to click the leader one, there will be
Yeah.
a password on that.
Well, where did you get those two calendars? Is that I couldn't see there very well.
Oh,
Is
sorry,
that
no, I know.
you can share your share your screen again and do it on the laptop version.
So
And go into the tab that has your app running. Yeah. So you might need to go back one or go to your front if you want to go to the front page of it.
I need to go to the web editor again, don't I?
Well, yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it.
Basically, you're saying each one of these menu items then, that it, so that this one here could have a volunteer rota one could have a password and this one couldn't. That's really what I was trying to say. Sorry.
Yes. So you can put
within this, could each one have a password?
Yes, any page can have a password. Is right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And that's just from this panel down the left, isn't it, in the editor?
Well,
it'll keep us right. And somewhere here, was it? No.
No. Well,
there.
No, sorry. Let me be careful not to confuse you, because there are two ways of securing pages on the app. You can create a whole raft of pages for leaders or parents or youth, whatever, and then you can actually have a leadership section on your app.
Okay.
But any page on any part of the app can have its own individual security code. And that's there. I see on the top of you're looking at the Beehive Youth Club app here, and you see page needs passcode. And
yes.
it says admin, testing, youth, leader, and parent.
Yes, here, yeah.
And just beside, you've got a or page code.
Okay, perfect.
So you can put a page code in there instead of using a passcode for a whole raft of pages. You can just put in a page code for that particular page.
Okay, great.
And then just tell the people that you want to tell what the code is for that page. So if you were having a whole section for leaders, and within the leaders, you were going to place a lookup for parents, or for parents' phone numbers and stuff, but you didn't want all of your volunteer leaders to be able to access your registration database. You could just put a security code on that page. But that's a coming feature, whenever you actually have the registration database lookup on the app, and you could restrict that lookup to only people that you give the passcode to. Is that clear?
Yes, that's really clear, John. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Brilliant. I'll stop sharing here.
Okay. Amy, give us a question, because I'm nervous that you've been thrown right into the 13-foot end of the pool.
I probably will have to use it first, John, to have any questions and, you know, to go through it and start to try and set it up.
Yeah.
And is it okay if, you know, obviously I put myself down as the coordinator of this, but if there was somebody else helping me, then we would both be kind of developing it together?
Yes, oh, absolutely. In fact, that's the way to go. I think
Yeah.
it is. You can share your login details with whoever you want. And the two of you can log in and do whatever you want. And you may even find that there's some young people are really rather clever at doing all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to share the burden. And as I say, you can even break it down into get somebody to look after the calendar stuff, get somebody to look after the membership stuff, get somebody to look after the materials for the youth leaders or whatever. But as a starter, this certainly isn't where you would normally start. You know, you would just actually have to start at the very beginning of how you manage the app, what a page is, the two different types of pages, how you can customize it to start with by just putting your own logo, your own banner on the top of it, and choosing your icons and deciding whether you want it to be single column or double column or triple column, whatever. You have inherited a particular style and content, and you can delete all of that and do your own thing.